with the interests that I had, I'm surprised I wasn't like a big follower of Jordan Peterson and like people like that, and on that side of the thing. If you want to consider, you know, like interest in psychology aside, I don't really. The fact of the matter is that the politicization of a lot of things really kind of irked me to a point of disinterest in engagement with things that interested me, which is very sad. You know, things like Carl Jung, Jungian psychology, very cool stuff to me. That was interesting to me. You think I'd be interested in that? You think I'd be on? But I'm not very. I'm not apolitical. But where I fall on the side of things is definitely more liberal. But you know, I try to disengage from that because of how polarized it is, and again, it's like intentionally polarized to a point of a degree that it's like it's sickening. It's just sickening. Level-headed politics is a far. It's gone. You know what I mean? The politicization of things that I particularly should have interest in, things like transgender, things like race. Oh my god, another oversized load. Been driving behind oversized loads all day. All day. But I don't know. It makes sense why some very into it people would consider me some sort of cosmic lesson or some sort of cosmic jest, but I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not a joke. I can be funny, but I'm not a joke. Parallel sort of spawnings, parallel developments of consciousness is a very interesting thing that happens in the world. I definitely wasn't set up to be, I mean, I was set up to be something that I definitely am not, you know, and I can't live up to it. I can't play up in it. I cannot play it up. It's dishonest. It's too dishonest for me to try to play up my character. And not to mention that my character has been attempted to be like assassinated, or my character has been just turned into minced meat. For the better, probably. But entering into the psychosphere of internet-based, I don't know, politics is the word that's coming to mind. Whether that's over religion, whether that's over gender, whether that's over race, whatever. All these things are politicized, and all these things are very potent topics on the internet, regardless of you like that or not. And they are, they impact people's lives in a personal way. And then you have people on all sides who are voice pieces for the side, or take upon themselves that role to be a voice piece for people. And it's been a while since I felt like I've had one. It's been a while since I felt like I've had somebody who speaks on my behalf. And that gives me the opportunity to do so for myself if I have the will and strength and power to do so. And in some regards I do. You know, in other regards it's difficulter because I'm not exactly the most I'm not stupid, you know. I just I don't know. That's not how I developed. That's not the kind of person I have been. So coming into that later in life is difficult. Trying to speak on my behalf, you know, on my own behalf, represent myself in a way. For all my representatives have been, that's not necessarily true now. let's be real. Like, there are people who stand on sides of things that are good voice pieces and speak on my behalf on things, and represent me in ways that are good, that are good for me. But there are those that don't or can't or what have you, simply because of these basic sort of like disagreements or these blatant differences. Whatever. But that is why I do talk. That's why I get on camera and say things. Is learning to sort of represent myself, present myself. While a lot of people have a lot of practice in it, and a lot of people get popular because of that, I don't mind. I don't mind not being popular. I don't mind not being the most intellectually or vocally stimulating person to listen to, or whatever. I just do it to get better at it, to be able to do so as an individual, as a person, for myself. I get to speak for myself, but even if there is an adversary out there, there is adversarial energies out there. There are people out there. There are things out there that wish to silence me, or wish to silence other people that may speak on my behalf. That is why I use the power of my speech. That is why I use the power of speech, this gift of the tongue that God has given me, in order to represent myself, to speak on my own behalf. And being in that position, it puts you in a position of sometimes feeling like you may need to speak on things that aren't necessary for you to speak on. Just because you want to be able to represent yourself, your own opinion, but sometimes it's like maybe you aren't the best choice to be the one who represents this particular issue, and that's fine. But what it boils down to is I still have the power of speech. I still have this ability to represent myself. I still have this ability to represent myself for real, because I have to do it, because it seems on the grand scheme nobody really can do that for me. There are facets of life where people do and can, and those things are being tarnished. Those things are being sort of picked off and spattered around. Things like gender, race, sexuality, religion. There is always going to be people who speak on those things, who are representatives of that, and there's always going to be things that are anti that, against that. And when the conversation gets so heightened to a point where it's like, hey, you're leaving me in the dust here, you know what I mean? Which is intentional. Again, they do that on purpose because they don't want people speaking on their own behalf, or they don't want people speaking on others' behalves. They just want everybody to shut up. So, I don't know. Finding my own voice. Nearing 30. That's fun. That's all it is. It's just finding my own voice. So. Speaking on my own behalf. Gotta do it. And of course, there are other people who are willing to speak on others' behalfs, or asked to even. Or they speak on their own behalf and other people just like what they have to say. That's an easy one too. There's a lot of people I like what they gotta say. So I listen to a lot of people. I do like what a lot of people have to say, even if I may disagree with them on fundamental things. Like I'll give Charlie Kirk the time of day. I'll give Hassan the time of day. You know what I mean? I'll listen to people that I may disagree with on some things. because I know how it goes. Like, this is going to be over 10 minutes, so I'm going to have to speed the video up probably to make it under 10 minutes. But there are people who just need to say how they feel, and if you disagree with them, then you're the bad guy, and I don't like that. I'm willing to hear people out even if they speak against my very existence. I wasn't happy when Charlie Kirk got killed. That didn't make me happy. I wasn't celebrating that. I thought that was a disgrace. I thought that was disgraceful. You know? I couldn't believe it, but I thought that's kind of disgraceful to silence opponents. You know? We live in that kind of world today. That's really sad. It's dangerous, but it's sad too. But I don't care whoever the hell you are. You know, don't be afraid to speak your mind. Don't be afraid to speak your point. Take away that from anybody. Take away the right to speech. Even through this sort of fear-based, don't speak on that or we will something to you. This keep silent energy that's out there today. It's unruly. It's disappointing. It's very sad. It's very disgusting. I don't care who you are in the world. I don't care what you've done. Don't ever let them take away your right to speech. You could have the Thuum from Skyrim. If you say words and it blows holes in walls, I would defend your voice to my dying breath. If that's the kind of power your voice had. Time and place, yeah, you know what I mean, but whatever. I guess Jacob, I need something to speak about that I got to speak about, and that's all I do is try to speak on my behalf, because a lot of the stuff that I want to speak about is covered by somebody who already says it a lot better than me. So I don't know. I'm not. Maybe on some subconscious level, I'm trying to find my niche. I'm trying to find my little crevice where I get to speak on whatever matters I want to speak about. And usually these dregs, what's left to speak about is a lot of stuff that nobody really wants to talk about, and I don't really want to talk about it either. A lot of it's kind of underbelly of society. A lot of weird, weird stuff. So I don't know. I try to avoid that. I don't want to be a mouthpiece for that either. It's like threading a needle. So anyway. May I find my voice. I pray this in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. I pray I find my voice where I get to speak on my behalf, and that it be good and well and understood. And just good. So that's what I pray for. Anyway, I've said enough at this point. Probably time to close the video. Goodbye.